Feelings of unworthiness are like carrying a backpack that's locked and you just can't put down. But what if I told you you can put it down? Hi, I'm Corinne Christensen and welcome to my YouTube channel. I know firsthand what it feels like to feel unworthy. When I was a child, I grew up in a home where my parents were divorced, and to no fault of my mother's at all, she had a really crippling mental illness. And it was very, very difficult at times. Like I said, I know no one would want it. There's no blame whatsoever to her. I'm just trying to get you to understand, basically what I went through. And I also grew up with a father that lived far away and really wanted nothing to do with me. So this really helped create a lot of feelings of instability and unworthiness and unlove. And I remember, probably my earliest memory, I think I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and I was at the park swinging on the swing, and all of a sudden I heard a little noise in the background, and here comes a father and his daughter, and he's pushing her higher and higher on the swing, and she's giggling and smiling and laughing. And as a child, I just remember those like really hurt feelings in my heart, right? It was like, wow, like that's what it looks like to have a present father, right? And then you kind of go to being that young, you don't understand. So it's like, I must have done something wrong that my dad doesn't want anything to do with me. Like all these, how you process as a child is a lot different than how you process as an adult, right? And I kind of took all that instability into my teenage years, and, just this little bit of like hatred really kind of grew into this massive inferno of like seething hatred for my father, right? And I remember just because things were so unstable at home that at an early age, I got into probably 14, it was drinking and using drugs. And basically what it was to try and escape the reality of home, because I think too, like I know I'm an empath now, and I didn't realize being that young that I was always feeling the room. I was feeling the energy subconsciously to try and see what state my mom was in. And like when she took her medication, she was fabulous, wonderful, loving, caring mother. And like I said, no fault of her own. I want to make that crystal clear. But when she didn't take her medication, she had a lot of delusions that people were coming to kill her. And so she'd kind of get more in, kind of a manic state, right? And like I said, no fault of her own. So as a child, that brings in a lot of instability and creates a lot of unworthiness and unlovable feelings, right? And like I said, I started dabbling in all kinds of things just to kind of escape that. And then as I grew older and grew, into a woman and older woman, I realized that things that were withheld from me, and some of it was, I didn't realize that because my dad lived so far away, I didn't know much about his childhood. And finding out years later that he had a really abusive stepdad, and he had a man's job at the age of a child. And if he didn't do his job, he got beat, and I didn't know that, right? So the thing is, you can only give what you know. So he didn't receive any love, so he didn't know how to give it, right? And these are the things that, I really didn't know. And so when I came into my spiritual awakening, I realized that I had a lot of forgiving to do, and I had to start with myself. I got to a place where I just hated myself, right? And it, whatever you feel on the inside reflects on the outside. And I also wanted to forgive my father and a few other people, right? And I stumbled upon, a few ladies on YouTube, and also I love to read books, so a lot of healing books and stuff. And what I did was, because my father had passed away already, I wrote him a letter. And this is another thing, whether someone's alive or not, it doesn't matter. If you choose to forgive someone, you're doing it for yourself. You're not acknowledging always that what they did was okay or correct or any of that. But when we harbor resentment, we have no room to let anything good in our lives, and we stay blocked and stagnant, right? So I wrote some forgiveness letters, and I'm going to tell you, and even to myself, right? I had a lot of tears. I went through a lot of emotions. I wrote it down, and I took it outside to my fire pit and I burnt it. And although that sounds really simple, it is such an amazing experience, because it was like 500 pounds was lifted off my shoulders. And if you do decide to burn anything, which is a really good, you're giving it up to God, Source, Buddha, the universe, make sure you do it outside safely in your fire pit. I want to emphasize that. But when we choose not to forgive, it's like you and I drinking a glass of poison and I'm standing there, oh, good, you're gonna fall over any minute now. But that's not how it works. It's us holding ourselves back, right? And when you forgive others and you realize that the number one thing is we were born worthy. We have to do absolutely nothing to deserve that. And sometimes we just create this story in our head. And because I felt so unworthy from my father, when I would have intimate relationships that didn't work out, at that time, I would think to myself, oh, well, if the only man that made you didn't love you, why would anyone else? We always create these stories that help create our reality, right? And when I really looked back and started to work through all my healing and feeling my feelings, another thing I did was I was a single parent. So I tried to show very little emotion because I was trying to be two people when physically I'm only one people. So I would hide a lot of emotions and break down and cry when my daughter was in bed sleeping. So she would see some kind of stability in her life, which is true to a point because you still have to feel your emotions, right? And all of a sudden, it was like Pandora's box. All these things that I had suppressed from childhood just came flying out. Like I remember dreaming it, waking up crying, like just all kinds of crazy things. And basically it was these feelings saying, look, I want you to acknowledge me, see me, and feel me, right? And that's kind of the biggest thing, is that we have to identify our feelings and then we can start working on them. And the things that I have practiced that have worked for me are meditation, just being quiet and deep breathing and connecting to whoever you think it is. Source, Buddha, Jesus, God, spirit, the universe, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing, but just basically connecting with that, right? And any kind of forgiveness, like I said, gratitude journaling is huge. Like we can harbor a lot of, not good feelings and stuff, but when we sit down and we just be grateful for the small things. I start out every day with a little gratitude journaling. I reflect on the day before. It can just be the little things, right? Like the people in your life, your children, your grandchildren, your spouse, your boyfriend, your partner, your friends, things that went really well for you. Just those little things just shift your mindset. And also have self-compassion for yourself. This is the thing, like we have a lot of compassion for others, but just really listen to yourself. When you listen to your intuition and your intuition says, I need you to rest today, then take the time to rest today. Have a bubble bath, read a book. Like we're so conditioned that we have to do. But just being present in the present moment is huge, right? And if any of these things, also, there's a lady on YouTube, High Frequency Guru. I just love her. Now they make things that are more in theta state, and theta state is a way to rewire your subconscious mind into new beliefs, right? So first thing in the morning or first thing before you go to bed, you can listen to things that are positive, like I am positive and happy, things always work out for me, I am worthy and lovable. All these things sound really minor, but when you listen to those kinds of statements, power statements every day, morning and night, in the matter of a month, you'll start to rewire your subconscious that holds all these limiting beliefs. And they're mostly just stories that we've made up, right? And also, if that doesn't work, seek support. Seek support from your friends and your family. There's all kinds of online counseling now. Sun Life and different Blue Cross, they have it where you can do it from your phone, and you can do it text message or phone calls, whatever works best for you. But always reach out for some support and help, because there's so many people that are willing to help you. And I also want to say the biggest reason that I started this channel was because I'm basically a living testament that you can change your life. I was born with some, few hard knocks just like other people. And through a lot of hard work, I know now that I can create the life of my dreams. And it's just consistency and commitment and being true to yourself. And so if you find any value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if I can leave you with anything today, it's step out, stay positive, and step into your power. Have a wonderful day.